Okay, I think we're live now. We are live. How's everybody doing? Corey, it's good to see you, brother. Um, we've had a pretty awesome day, a pretty interesting day. It's been really good. We had a good long live show. Cohen came on, and it was really interesting. It was really awesome, and it was good to get another white man's perspective on interracial dating, and that was a blessing in today's show, and I enjoyed it to the max. We put in some hours, and I think we learned something. I sure did, and that was awesome. Right now, we're going to do our movie review. Um, I sent out an invite, and let me send out an invite again. But anyway, today was a good day. I mean, can't complain. It was really good. But anyway, I'm just sending out an invite. Okay, there it goes. Anyway, it was a good show. Yeah, it went good from beginning to end, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I think I learned something, and I hope everybody else that watched the show learned something. And that's what it's all about. We can learn things about each other, and when we interracially date and marry, we really need to learn about that other person, right? We have to have love and respect for that person, and the racial group they come from. We got to have love and respect, and in return, they got to have the same for us too, right? And that whole show was it was a lot of good, valuable information. Um, I sat down and listened to that, and I was like, man, I didn't know that. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even realize that. And here's the thing: no matter how much experience we get in life, we can always learn more. And no matter how much knowledge we think we have, someone can bring more knowledge to us. And I think with today's lives, that's what we got. And I think it was a beautiful thing. Um, it was neat, and it was good with Cohen. And you know what? Some things I got out of him I didn't expect to. Um, and I have a different perspective on Cohen Namek. I have a deeper respect for the man. And, I have a true love for my brother from across the pond. And you know what? I think it was great. And you know what? Uh, we learned something. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I learned something. You know what? And we got perceptions about each other, um, which we might think they're like, and we really get to know them. We find out they're not like that. Um, but anyway, I'm not going to focus too much on that. What I want to get on is the movie review, um, something new. And it was an awesome movie. I watched it years ago. Me and my wife have watched it. We love the movie. And it talks about an interracial relationship with a black woman and a white guy. This black woman, she's in the higher society, you might say, in the corporate world. She's going to be a partner. She's what a lot of people would say high value. And what that means is she's not even in the middle class. She's in the upper class. This guy is a landscaper. He's good at what he does, and he's in the middle class, and you could see that. But he's hardworking. He's a good man, and he might even be in the upper class because he's so good at what he does. But the thing of it is, when you watch the movie, it just tells a story about these two people, right? And people in America, people in the world are in different classes when it comes to economics, right? Me, myself, I identify with the landscaper guy because he's a middle class guy. He's hardworking. That's where I'm at. I'm a blue collar guy. I live pretty good. You know, and I think I'm successful for the most part. My wife is in the middle class, but she's more of a upper class, more of a, how can I say this? Gosh, how can I say it? More of a like a corporate America type. And she does very well. She don't need me to support her in life. There ain't no doubt. She makes almost as much as I do. I make a little bit more, tiny bit. But I try to make it that way because I've been raised as a man. You provide for the woman as a man. And I believe that. Today's society, it might not fall into that exactly, but here's the thing. Us as men, we got to be conditioned to take care of our women, our children, and our family. And, you know, if we're not like that as men, then our women get a lot less quality of man. They get a less desirable man. And what I'm saying is, it's not about what the money you make. It's about the character you have. Because if you got strong character, those finances will fall in place. God will bless you. It will happen. That don't mean you're going to be rich and you have everything you desire. No. But you will be able to provide for your wife and your family and feel like a true man, which God intended us to be as men. And as men, we're hard-headed, we're stubborn, and we compete. And that's why we're wired. But anyway, and as women, you support your husband. You have his back at all times, and you're loyal, beautiful, and support him. And it goes both ways. But anyway, I'm not going to get caught up in that stuff too much. Right now, I'm going to do a movie review. And the movie review we had, I had a couple that were supposed to come on my panel to review the movie, but it just didn't happen yet. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to give my perspective on it, and I'm going to put the link out there. So if you want to come on and talk about the movie, Something New. Something New, it's been out for, I think, 96, I think it was. Let me Google it right quick and see how long it's been out. But it's been out there for a while. Let me see here. When was the movie Something New filmed?
Something New is a 2006 movie directed by Sanaa Hamri, starring...
Okay, so the movie came out in 2006, right? It's 2012 right now. That was 6 years ago. But it was a entertaining movie. And the thing about the movie is they hit certain aspects that are true to an interracial relationship to this day. And some of the stuff they were right on. Some of it's fantasy, of course, but for the most part, they hit the nail on the head when it comes with psychology, when it comes with different racial groups, when it comes to people that are different and what they think about each other. And, it just, the movie moved me because I look at it on my life and me and my wife when we got married, and the brother that gave her a hard time, that was my brother-in-law that gave my wife a hard time. And I'll talk about that. But anyway, the movie was good. Actors were awesome. The black lady in there, she's very beautiful. Um, and the white guy, he's a good-looking guy. And I mean, the storyline and how they felt about each other, it kind of reigns true a lot in today's society. But it's not 100%. But I mean, the movie really, I think, captured a lot of truths in today's society when it comes to interracial relationships. But anyway, I'm going to show a couple movie clips, and then I'm going to talk about it. And if you guys want to come in and join me and tell me your perspective on the movie, you can. It's open for you. But let me do, I want to put out this statement on the Fair Use Act and, try to cover ourselves with that. We're just showing a little movie clip, but I got to put that out there. So let me put that out there right now, if I can. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is the Fair Use Act. We're going to use this movie trailer for education, for commentary, and we're going to use it to learn something, okay? I want to give a shout out to the movie directors, the people that put this movie together, and the people that made this movie awesome. It was a very awesome, beautiful movie, and I think we can learn something from it, and I think we can enjoy this movie also. But anyway, that's the Fair Use Act. We got to, give the parties that created it their respect, and we got to give them credit for what they do. And we're not showing the movie by no means. We're just showing some movie clips, and we're going to talk about it. And I want your input. If you're not on my show right now, I want to bring you on. I'm going to put out the link after I talk about it, and I want you to come on if you can. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But I would like to get some interaction. Anyway, here's a scene from the movie, and it's when she's sitting in her home talking with her landscaper, and they're just, talking, but it's a little piece of the movie. Most of you have watched it. Most of you have seen it. And anyway, let me put this out there. Here, we're going to watch a little trailer. Well, movie clip.
What's wrong with beige?
Well, it's...
Okay, here we go. Sorry.
What's with all the beige? You are going to paint, right? You're going to bring some color in.
What's wrong with beige?
Well, it's safe, impersonal. It kind of feels a little like a hotel. It doesn't reflect you.
My mother thinks bright colors are for children and whores.
What do you think?
I don't know.
See, I think color brings in energy. It excites the senses. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel happy, make you feel bold.
Oh, bold is definitely not me.
Are you sure? I don't think you take the time to know who you are. You're always working.
Yeah, well, some of us have to work extra hard just to stay in the game. You wouldn't understand.
Try me.
You're so full of advice tonight, Mr. Know Everything. Maybe it's time I give you some.
All right, fire away.
Well, for one, you're a lousy businessman. You didn't ask for an upfront payment, and you've already put in too many hours to make this job cost-effective.
Did it ever occur to you that I was giving you special treatment? I may not be the financial wizard like yourself, but I have been running a small business successfully for over 6 years. Of course, if you feel the urge to review my books, then please do me the favor. I'll allow that.
Trust me, you couldn't afford me.
So, I take it you don't do white guys?
I just happen to prefer black men. It's not a prejudice, it's a preference.
Sure. It's your preference to be prejudiced.
What about you?
Women are women. Some are poison, some are sweet.
Ever date a black girl?
All kinds of girls.
So you're a player.
I'm just a landscaper. I take hard earth and make things bloom.
Okay. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so you seen a little clip from the movie, right? And this clip is very, I think, important because how they're talking, what's going on, and how he put that out there. He just threw it out there. It says, "You just don't do white guys," right? And you know, and that's an uncomfortable thing. But she says, "Well, there's a preference," and she just lied. The preference ain't black men. No, she's afraid to step out of her comfort zone, and I believe this to be true. A lot of black women will say that black men's their preference, and some of them don't actually believe that, but they think that, staying with the norm and going with society is probably the best choice, even though they don't want that choice. I believe that to be true. But there are black women that only want black men, and that's all they desire, and that is true. And that I don't have a problem with that. It's good either way. I mean, as long as you're with who you love, it's good, whether it's black love, white love, or interracial love, where the group I'm in. But anyway, I like how you put that out there. And this movie, when you watch it, it's kind of, it's just the movie. These ain't real people in society, but they hit a lot of good points. And the thing of it is a lot of black women will reject white men because they believe societal, it's the best choice, even though they don't want the choice. And white men will be standoffish and not pursue it because they don't think they have a chance. I mean, it is what it is. That's what's going on right now. If people were free and how they love and what they wanted, interracial relationships would skyrocket. And when you talk about black men and white women, they're doing that. They get together and they're in it to have fun, and they just do it. And it's like they don't care. But when it comes to black women and white men, we're more reserved, we're more cautious, we're more strategic. And I think we're more strategic people because I think we carry the load for the most part. I mean, not always, it ain't always true, but we come together and our relationships are strong. Not to say a black man and white woman can't have a strong relationship. They can, and it does happen. I've seen it happen. But when you talk about in generalizations and statistics, black women, white men are the most successful combination. And I don't just say that because I want to say that. It's just facts. I mean, I wish every combination was 100%. Every combination, whoever you fall in love with would last. And in a perfect world, it would be that way. But anyway, I don't want to get too off into that. But this movie, something new, it puts a perspective in interracial relationships. And, before I get into my thoughts about the movie, I'm going to share the link right now. And if you want to jump on, come jump on. I would like to get other people's aspects on the movie, everybody's perspective, if I can. For the most part, other people, right? I don't want to just tell you what I thought, even though I think what I thought was a good thing. I just would like to get interaction with that. The link is on in the chat, and it's on the highlighted area. So come on and come up on the panel and tell me what you think. While I'm waiting for that, and before anybody comes on, Jersey, you're on. Hey, your device, it says not connected. Check it real quick. As soon as that's fixed. Oh, there you go. It's fixed. Hey, Jersey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
It's good to see you.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you really good.
Okay.
The movie review I did was something new, and I know you've seen it, and it's really a good movie. And it hits some truths. I know movies ain't reality, but this does hit some reality when it comes to issues. You know, when I look at it, I can see some similarities where it comes together with me and my wife back when we got married, back when we had a relationship. You know, watching the movie, there were two people that fell in love. The white guy was all in. He was like, you know what? He found her beautiful. He wanted to have a relationship. She, on the other hand, was cautious, didn't want to go there, but in reality, she did want to go there. She actually had an attraction to him. She wanted to be with him also, but because of society norms and stereotypes, she was more reluctant than he was. She tried to kind of run from the situation, but your heart can't run from what you believe in. Chanel, hey, I see you on there, but it says your device is not connected. You need to fix that so I can bring you up. I don't know if it's your audio or video or what's going on, but it says your device is not connected. It could be internet also. So as soon as that is fixed, I can't bring you up as you are. But anyway, check that out. Yours truly, Miss Anita. Miss Anita, you can come on. The link is up here. I know you wanted to be a part of it also. I'm going to put the link up there again. But anyway, that movie had so much truth to it. And I seen my own marriage in that movie in so many ways. It's not even funny. But anyway, okay, there's Grandmother's Love. She's on there. Hey, Grandmother's Love, good to see you. You're on the panel with me and Jersey Guy. It's good to see you. Someone else tried to come on, but I guess their device wasn't connecting. You know, I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing or an internet thing. There she is again. Miss Know-It-All, you're on. Also, Chanel. Chanel, check your device. Check your internet. Something's going on. I can't bring you up till that's fixed. April Rain, you're on there. April Rain, hey, good to see you again.
Good to be seen. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Yeah, we're going to do a movie
Hello,
review.
everyone.
Huh?
Just hello, panel.
Yeah. Hello, good to see you. I want to do a review on the movie Something New. It's a very popular movie. It's a very good movie. It has a very positive perspective when it comes to interracial relationships, i.e., black woman, white man combination. I'm for interracial relationships regardless of the combination, as long as you love that person, as long as you give that person your all. I'm all for it. But anyway, in the movie, I want to let you guys go and tell you what you got out of it. And at the end, I'll tell you what I thought and what I got out of it. And whoever wants to go first, let me know. There's 4 on the panel, including myself.
Okay.
Oh, there's Chanel. Let me get her on it. Okay. Hey, Chanel, it's good to see you. Glad you made it on the
Hello.
panel.
Hi from Trinidad.
Are you from Trinidad? Oh, okay. Awesome. Good to have you on the show. You seen the movie Something New?
Yes, I actually looked at it last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, that movie actually got me emotional. And I'll tell you why at the end. I'm going to let you guys go first and give your aspect on the movie and your perspective and what it meant to you and the things you've seen where it connects with reality. Movies ain't reality, but sometimes they hit certain instances of reality. And anyway, who would like to go first?
I don't mind speaking up first.
Okay. Okay, Grandmother's Love, I'll let you go first.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
First, I want to say hello to everybody that's on the panel. And what I got out of the movie, to me, is that she had to learn that she can love outside of her own race. I think that's the number one message to me. She was taught, I guess, not necessarily traditional home, but more or less to stay, within her own circle of people, and so I think she always thought that, hey, that she would always marry someone that's Black, probably like a lot of us ladies. But what she learned at the end when she met that guy, that she could actually care for someone outside of her race, that she actually fell in love with him. And I like the fact too that he kind of took her out of her comfort zone. I really respect that about him. He didn't give up. He could have just said, you know what? No, she got attitude. I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. But I loved his persistency. So for me, and maybe the other people on the panel can shed some light what their perspective was. And I'm trying to think if there's anything. It's probably a lot more, but I don't want to take up all the time because I think we all can kind of give our interchangeable reaction. So I would like to hear from some of the others, and then, maybe I'll jump in a little bit later.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot to unpack in that stuff. And yeah, you can date outside your race, you can get out your comfort zone. And I think her problem is she had a trouble getting out of her comfort zone. Even though, and here's the thing, guys, when you're interracially in a relationship, even though you are attracted to that person, even though you want to be with that person, and even though your desires are through the roof, sometimes people will oppress that to stay in the norm, to stay in the traditional way that we've been raised, the way that we've lived our lives. Even though that's not what they want, they will kick someone to the curb of another race that they actually want to be with to support that stereotype, that society norm, to live in that safe space, even though they don't want to be in that safe space. Does that make sense? And I think that's what Miss Anita was talking about. But anyway, very awesome perspective on that. You got to be comfortable dating outside if that's what you want. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy because you're going to just settle for what's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
I don't think she felt safe though at first, Mr. Brent. At first she felt awkward because she was trying to impress the black folks at the restaurant when she first met him. Like she kept saying, like,
Yeah.
okay, everybody knows that you're down. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, no doubt. And she was just going out of her way to let her know she was down with the black cause. Yeah. Like she was saying, "Oh, hey brother, what's going on?" Or "Hey, you're wearing those dreads really well," or whatever she was saying. And yeah, I got that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, can I go next, Brent?
Yeah, you can, Angel.
Yeah, well, that movie came out, it really represented for me, and I think I can speak for a lot of Black women that were in their 20s during that era that were in corporate America that had corporate jobs. But she specifically was like a high value, I think CPA in the movie, and they initially linked up through the landscaper, through her coworker. She had no idea that the coworker was hooking her up with a white man. So she initially, when he sat down at Starbucks, she immediately got up. And I think that sentiment would be what I would have done at that stage too. You know, so I think Sanaa for me just pulled a lot of emotions of our viewpoint of how a lot of us, for me, how I viewed interracial dating with white men. So that's how I took the movie. I really enjoyed, she was very rigid. She was very career goal-minded. She was upper class. So her mother, she already had her daughter's life planned out. So Kenya already was at that stage in her life where she had got a home. Now it's time to look to get married. So she didn't have that identity of meeting a white man. So it was always set up for her to be with a successful, she was supposed to marry someone that mirrored her high value lifestyle and someone that the family picked because they were like upper class. And so, you know, it was just I think she just represented a lot of the skepticism that we have. And I do think I would be curious to know how many interracial relationships this movie actually encouraged and brought about. So I'm really sad they didn't do a part 2 because I really thought it could have been a part 2. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. That's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah. Can I say, go ahead.
Yeah, good aspect on that. Yeah, she was in the higher class corporate era, and you know, her mother was kind of controlling, and yeah, she expected to meet someone in her social economic class, and you know, that was supposed to be a professional, high earning Black man, and I think that's what she expected. But sometimes love, you know, kicks us in the teeth, and you know what? It's not what we thought it would be. And I think that's what hit her. And, you know, because it just blindsided her, I think. I think a lot of times we get blindsided with love. We think that we're going to fall in love with a certain group of person, someone that's maybe like us. And it turns out that ain't the fact at all. And especially in interracial relationships, a lot of people get in interracial relationships because they fall in love with someone from another racial group. And and a lot of them, they don't plan that. A lot of them ain't looking for that. A lot of them, it just happens. You know, my situation is different. I kind of search my pathway out, but not everybody's like that. And I think she was caught up in that because she felt something for a guy that was outside of her racial realm, outside of her comfort zone. And you know what? And that was the thing you got to think about, because you can fall in love with anybody. They don't have to look like you. People that say that it's natural to fall in love with someone that looks like you is a bunch of crap. It's just so stupid. And I live my life, and I don't necessarily love someone that looks like me. I mean, that don't make I want to be attractive to someone that's and I think she thought it would be that way, but it didn't turn out that way. But and that was an interesting movie because in reality, a lot of people are like that. A lot of people, that I talk to are in that situation. Yes, we end up in interracial relationships. Guess what? Because we're attracted to someone that don't look like us. We're attracted to that inner beauty of someone that's got good character and is really loving that don't look like us. It happens all the time. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was good, April. I love your aspect on that, and that was a good commentary on that. But anyway,
Could I go next?
yes, you can, Miss Know-It-All. We'll let you go because you know it all.
Of course. I got the
Okay.
I got the lottery numbers. I'll give it to you later.
Okay, give it to me later. Okay.
No, I think everyone said great things, like April and Miss Anita. And my take on it, I've watched the movie a few times several years ago, and I just love the journey. And it shows, and I think Sanaya Lathan did a great job showing us, from the beginning when she first met him, she couldn't even look at, she didn't allow herself to actually see him, to really see him, and and that goes even in our own communities, but that's not a story. But I think, and then by the time she wind up dealing with him when he had a contract and a job to work for her, and you watched her as she looked through the window and she saw him working, and so like, wait a minute, this man is attractive. It shows you the journey, like, well, maybe, I don't know. And you see her slowly, you can see her slowly, questioning her belief systems and what she's been indoctrinated with. And, we all have this idea of what our Prince Charming would look like and stuff like that. And if you came from communities and if you lived in a place where you didn't see a lot of people that were different from you, sometimes that plays a role in why it's such a barrier and such a resistance to try something new. So it was the coincidence of her meeting him at the restaurant, even though she was like, it was like overwhelming for her. So she couldn't really see him, to the point when he had the work assignment, the contract, doing her backyard. And then she actually kind of looked at him like, oh, wow. And then he just has such an easy vibe about him, which I loved. But the journey is like her journey, each step, journey, and then to the point where she started to do things different, loosen up. She went for the hike, and that's when things started. To the point that she became more at peace with herself a little bit, and peace with her actually kind of liking this dude. To the point where she, went natural to little things. They had their hiccups in the movie, but I think the overall, for me, every aspect of the movie, the journey from the beginning, how she allowed herself, that she had the bravery to allow herself to like and want and desire something new. And a lot of us didn't have that bravery for a long time because, again, it's just, and I think in the comment section, one of the young ladies was made a great point, like, with her parents, and like, hey, no, that's not who you date. You date this guy, this, that. And then her brother being messy with women. Again, that sort of coddling for the males, like he can do what he want and date what type of woman he want and sow his oats. But her as the female and a professional and intelligent and educated and a professional, educated woman, she should have this type of guy. They introduce us to the guy, Blair Underwood. He's, not to go over the entire movie, but my point is just it's so hard to pick one. From the beginning to end, I think the movie was one of the best movies I've ever seen, and not just because it involved interracial dating, but it was just flawless, and it really covered all aspects of how we go through this. It covered the shock or the, oh my God, this is not what I'm supposed to be, to the inevitable. I can find myself I'm interested. I'm attracted to. I can actually see this person, be attracted to them, to trying it out, and then realizing I like what I see. I like what I'm feeling with this person, and then obviously at the end, it going into the direction it is. I just think everything about it was from beginning to end was phenomenal, and it's just so hard. But my takeaway is just allowing yourself to being at peace with yourself and allowing yourself to like something and to like something new, try something new, and be fearless. And that's what my takeaway is. And that's what my takeaway with it.
Yeah, no, good points. Yeah, the thing of it is, she's seen things she's attracted to, and like I would say, once again, it was hard for her to get out of that comfort zone because how she expected things to be. And I think he was more willing to jump in the relationship than than she was. And when you watch the movie, he accepted her who she was, and he found her beautiful, and he was attracted. She was attracted to him also, but she was standoffish. She tried to live that social norm. And maybe it's conditioning and the way you're thought, where she was successful, but she pictured herself with a successful upper corporate black man than a white man. And this guy he wasn't an upper corporate guy. He was a blue collar white guy. He's successful, no doubt. He was talented with his landscaping, and he was highly recommended. So, I mean, he wasn't no scrub by no means. He was a successful man, but he's a blue collar man. She was white collared. He
was a landscaper, Brett. Okay, he could build and create. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he was below her. What I'm saying is economically, she was above him economically. Yeah, he was talented, no doubt, and he was like an artist. He could landscape a yard to make it look so beautiful out of nothing, and that's where his talent laid. She was talented in the corporate world, where she was good for numbers. She was good in the boardroom. And with the company, she actually carried it on her back. And that was her strength. But she didn't want to step out her comfort zone and deviate from those societal norms or stereotypes. And that was the thing in the story. And I find that so much to be true. I think a lot of time in relationships that white men are more willing to step into it than black women. I believe that to be true. And some people will disagree and say, no, that ain't. But I think it's true because
I think it's true. I'm sorry to cut you off, Brett. I think it's true for white men. Only because it's just they have nothing to really lose. I mean, he can always bounce back, and he won't be ostracized from his community if he did. He won't be, because men, we in a patriarchal society where men, they run things, and at the end of the day, opposed to your natural counterpart Becky, she go out, she's ostracized when she does it, but when you do it, you could go in and you come out, come back, and still be able to get someone from your community and still be looked at, okay, he just went through something, he just went through a phase. So, of course, I think any man, and men are men, and men, a woman is a woman, let's be honest. So, of course, they're going to be more, okay, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not going to get harmed. I'm not going to get lynched. I'm not going to be... I'm not going to be attacked, at least not by my own community. So, I mean, he has a little less to lose, where a female, it's so much pressure put on us. It's so much, you have to be a woman. You have to talk like a lady, act like a lady, behave like a lady. You should. And then again, the community, race loyalty, the emphasis on being loyal, and there, he's the enemy. they're the enemy. I mean, if you remember in the movie, I'm sorry to cut you off. Remember in the movie where he walked up to the black males and they were talking about business and then they shut down because there's a trust factor. There's a lack of trust factor. So it's just we're indoctrinated not to trust. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't discuss it. But anyway, but that's why I had to just throw in. I'm sorry I couldn't articulate that in the beginning. But yes, I think males, it's just easier for you, period. It's just, and you guys, and it's the natural, it's like natural selection. It's in men's nature to approach women regardless from where they're from. So,
but you know what, Mr. Brent, a lot of people in the chat miss fertility, speaking to the societal norms that women are held to, or black women are held to, go to school, get an education. But they were talking in the comments about her brother Nelson, who was basically like a man whore. He had like all types of women, but he wasn't held to the same standards that she was. So I just wanted to say to tie that in, but I'm curious to see the male's response.
I'm glad you said that. I got that. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, because the women her brother was with were like I don't know, how can you classify that? They were into him because he drove a Jaguar, even though his father bought it for him. But they were looking at the superficial things about him, and they weren't really into him. It was what his status and what he had. Where this white guy actually loved her because he thought she was beautiful and he was into her for her. But his brother's girlfriends were into him because of what he had or what he represented. And that's a good point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
May I share my thoughts now?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
There are two things that I think are really important. One, I enjoyed this movie a lot, and the reason I did was primarily because it flipped every stereotype on its back in a way.
Yes.
In that usually you would see, the black woman or the black person trying to get into white society and being ostracized, but it was back to front there. Usually it's the black person being, of the lower socioeconomic status, and it was flipped there. And I thought that was really interesting because it made for a better opportunity for character development. I think a lot of people overlook the fact that the white man, I can't remember his name exactly, but he was an ad executive before he started his business. And he said that he left it because he was not happy. And I think that his role in the movie was basically to bring the kind of happiness that he found for himself to her and let her learn to breathe and just let go. And I really liked that. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, good points. Yeah, the economic status. And here's the thing. We see things where we perceive them to be, and perception is not always reality. Her and her status and the white guy and his status. A lot of people say that white people are in their upper status and they perceive that. That ain't always true. I've met a lot of black people that are actually in the upper earning category. I know a lot of black people that are very successful, more so than me and my wife, and in the corporate world. And there's a lot of that. The thing of it is we don't see that because the majority of society in our country is mostly white. So you're going to see mostly white people, no matter where you go. And a lot of times, the successful black people you don't see as much because there's a lot of white families in the same status as them. And I think it's not shown, but it's in front of our face and with her in the boardroom and her family, upper class, that's not unusual in America. There's a lot of black families that are very successful. And there's a lot of blue collar white families that just, they work from paycheck to paycheck. And the reason we don't see that is because we look at the majority of people. And I always tell people this. I said, don't look at how many people, look at the stats. And here's the thing. Most people in America are white people. It is what it is. And when most people, and when I put this out there, their standard of beauty is white women. Why? Because their wives are white. Tell me, guys, how many men would say that another group of women is more valuable than their wife? Nobody, right? So the majority is not it. It's what we see, but it's not the reality. Does that make sense? I mean,
Yes, it does.
I mean,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just try to put that out because people don't see the reality. They see the majority. The majority of people that are rich are white. Why? Because the majority of people in America are white. Did you know the majority of poor people in America are white? Why? Because it's the majority.
Hey, Brent, can I just hop in real quick?
Yeah. I know it's kind of off topic, but I want people to see reality. And this movie shows reality, I think, in a way. But yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to just offer my thoughts real quick. I actually have to hop off of here after I say this for the conversation with a friend of mine. I want to say like 6 weeks ago, I was watching a motivational video, and the speaker had a quote that really resonated with me when I watched something new. He had said, it's time to operate out of your imagination instead of your memory, meaning you should open yourself up to new possibilities instead of always living your life thinking of what was in the past, like previous experiences.
Yeah.
And to me, that was really this movie to a T, because you had two people that culturally you can, as you've stated, were in two different points, and they had a willingness to try, as the title of the movie implies, try something new and just say, okay, well, let's see where this goes. And I thought that was a wonderful thing, because I think, and maybe I can't qualify this statement. I'm only 26, so maybe I haven't lived enough of life, and I'll fully acknowledge that.
Fellow 26-year-old, hi.
But there's, especially for interracial relationships, there's no blueprint. In relationships in general, you can make that argument. It's kind of like, okay, let's see how this goes. And just, it was beautiful in a way to see it kind of just flourish, and just, despite the fact that there's going to be differences, just being accepting of one another is what, this movie really showed me. And that was just, where Kenya's character, like, it was no to the dog, no to hiking, and then there she is doing those things, like no to stopping at the garden center, and there she, it was just like she just allowed somebody into her life, and just to see things flourish and blossom the way it did. I just thought it was just a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Oh, no doubt, Jersey. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. We gotta live life like, you know what? Vet people, see their character, but follow our heart too, because you know what? You'll find someone that you love that might not look like you, might not be in the same social status. And these were two people that were successful and good at what they did. She was good in corporate America. She made it happen. He was good as a landscaper. And when you see the movie, a lot of these wealthy people were like recommending him, because, I mean, he was so good in what he did. And even that friend of of Kenya was like, you know what? I recommend this guy. He's just good. He's good at what he does. And, you know, they're both successful. Maybe one makes more money, yes, but I mean, success ain't always on how much your economic value is, but how good you are in what you do. And, you know, that was good. And what Jersey said, I mean, it makes sense. You know, they're seeing people as people instead of the, you know, the status norm of how we got to stick with our own and all that stuff. It was a good movie because it put it put the aspect of people. And a lot of times we don't look at people as people. We look at people as a generalization, as a social group.
Hey, Brent.
Yes.
I wanted to say one more thing too, and about the movie, because I know there are so many different things that we can cover in this movie. But one of the things that I really like is when she started dating the black guy, it was almost everything that she ever wanted or dreamed of. I'm sure that was everything that her mother wanted for her, her family wanted for her. Now, one of the things that another part is, I love the fact that her father supported her. I love that he saw what his daughter really wanted and loved. But what I loved about her is that she that when she started hanging out with the other guy, she realized that, okay, this is everything I've been wanting, but for some reason the connection was not there. It just wasn't there. And I think the other guy, the white guy, brought something into the relationship that was with corporate America. Okay. That wasn't corporate America. I mean, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, you guys. I have my granddaughter in here with me. But yeah, I just, the contrast. It was a contrast. She thought that both of them would sit on that couch. If you guys remember, her and the black guy was sitting on the couch typing and getting their, whatever their reports or whatever they were working on job related. I think he even made a comment to her, but I think she had that look on her face like, is this great? I think she was thinking like, no, this is not, I'm not feeling this. And maybe that's what she envisioned all along, but then she found out what she really wanted is not what she wanted. Sometimes what we think we want, maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
I get exactly what you're saying. Sometimes what we think we want is not what we really want. And here's the thing, two people of a different racial group, different economical group coming together because they have a connection that you can't defy, a connection you can't fight. And, you know, if you look at the other story with her friend that got together with the cook, that came, you know, that event they had, right? He was a lower class economically, like the white guy, right?
Yeah.
But she was into him because they had a connection, and they were different economic classes, and they were both black, and he was going in on the white guy saying, you know, their family, and, you know, watch yourself. And I'm like, I thought about that. I was like, you're attacking the guy that's just like you. You're a working class, blue collar guy that you're attacking because he's white and they're all black. And you know, later on in the movie, he started to see him as a person other than a race, you know. And when he said, you know, you're lucky to be invited to a, what did he say, a Negro spiritual event like this, you know, trying to be funny. And, you know, but later on, he started seeing him as a person, like, hey, this man is like me. He's trying to make ends meet. Yeah, we're not in the corporate world. Yeah, we're blue collar. Yeah, you know, he landscapes. I cater special events. And that to me was like
I think he saw that Kenya loved, I think all of them, friends, the girlfriend, they all saw that Kenya really loved this guy. And I think that makes all the difference. Like he made her happy. I mean, I think that was the point, is that she was with the other guy. Oh, the other dude, that wasn't it, was she wasn't feeling him. I mean, he may have had things that she envisioned, that she dreamed of all that time, but it wasn't a connection there. She had a
Yeah.
connection with that other guy, with the white guy. And yeah, and I think all of them saw that she really loved this guy. That's where her heart was at. And she
I will say,
out
I will
herself.
say that, right. I will say this, that had it not have been for her father blessing that and telling her to go get her man, because her mother was very domineering and very controlling and very scripted. And so when he had that talk with her, he came into the bathroom like the dad and gave her that talk.
That was
And
great.
she went out there in her little cotillion dress and she went and got her man. And you saw when she was all distraught, Brian, in the rain, and she couldn't find her man. She thought, oh my God, he done moved on, because he said it. Remember, he said, I can just get up and just move my business or whatever. It's nothing to him. So she was in, he was in the back, and, you know, and she confessed her love to him. And I think that's really natural. So I really shout out to her parent, her dad, who at least did not allow the mother to control her life.
Yeah, and let me say something on that too. And here's the thing: when you're dealing with daughters, daughters gravitate to the mother because they're both women, right? But here's the thing: when it comes to dating and relationships with men, your daughters will gravitate to the father because they look to the father. They look to a man they're dating to be like their father. They do. And I've had this experience. I mean, my daughters go to my wife for everything. They don't even talk to me. But when it comes to dating and men, they come to me. And you know why? Because they want a man that's like their father a lot of times. And even though that was a black man in that movie, you know what? That man was like that white guy in a way. You know, he understood what she wanted, and he had love for her. Both of these men had love for that woman, the father and the white guy. And the father's seeing the truth, and he says, you know what? Be with who you want to be with, because that's where the true love is. And I'm telling you, daughters, and I got two daughters. One's married now, and one's engaged to a Marine. And yeah, I love my daughters more than anything in the world. But you know, they go to their mom for every advice. But when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, they come to me. And I pray to God, any advice I give them is straight from God, because, you know, I'm so protective of my daughters, and I'm protective of my son too. Don't get me wrong, but my daughters are my princesses, and I want the best for them. I want that Prince Charming to come sweep them off their feet and love them, protect them, provide for them, and have a good family with them. And I think that's what the father was, because he wasn't looking at society norms. He was looking at what his daughter wanted, where her heart was. And that's true love, because, you know, when I met boyfriends of my daughters, regardless of what I thought about them, I wanted my daughters to be happy. And you know, my oldest daughter married a good man. I mean, he provides for her. He's awesome. And I thank God for that. My youngest daughter, I pulled my hair out, because this guy she's talking to is a Marine. He seems respectful. He's got a job. He's doing his thing. But I just, you know, I pull my hair out. But what I want best is what's for my daughter. And I think this man was expressing that. He was like,
but
you know,
she was feeling the shame, like black. I don't know what it is. She felt, she felt this guilt for loving who she loved. I don't know what that is. It's like inherent, like you you did. That's why she immediately got up at that Starbucks. Because how can you imagine yourself walking the street with a white man if you are still socially black identified? You get what I'm saying? So
No, I
it's
that
sad.
and she was struggling with that, but her father seen the truth. He says, you know what? Okay, this guy you love, okay, he's white. I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, is that the worst thing you can think of? I mean, okay, so he's a white guy. So what? And I like that in the movie where he was like, you know what? It could be worse than him just being a white guy, you know? And that to me was that was like a heartwarming moment where he's like, you know what? As long as he love him and he treats you well, hey,
and this is a good movie. This is also a good movie, Mr. Brent, to also see value over paired relationships based on the fact, okay, this whole high value or status symbol. You could just really see she was pondering like, she was more like family oriented. Is this man going to build with me? Is this man gonna, all of the things that the other guy did, the white male in this movie, he did those things. And the guy that she was paired with, Blair Underwood's character, he just was very rigid, just like her. He was male. He was very rigid, always talking business. She had to be and look a certain way at all times. And where now she's reflecting what was important to her. So it's about family. You could really see the shift. So I really was hoping they did a part 2. After I got tired of watching it a million times, I was like, where's part 2 at? But
yeah, I agree with you. That would have been a good part 2. But yeah, on paper, the black guy was the best choice because he was successful. He was a good-looking guy. He had his act together. But the connection wasn't there. Her connection was with the white guy, the landscaper. And at the end, she finally realized that, you know what? Society and my family, and on paper, this is the best choice. But where my heart is with this other man. And I don't think, and both men were good men in the movie. I think the black guy didn't mean harm. I think he really loved her. And when he was like kissing her and she wasn't into it, he says, you know what, take your time. You let me know when you're ready. And that was a good moment to where, that's a high quality man too, because he didn't try to pressure her. And in fact, when she left him, he was like, it's what she wants. And that was a good thing in the movie. I don't think there was really a villain in this. Maybe her brother, because he was just a jackass teasing her. But, but even he was a good guy. He was just having fun.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. And what you had said to Brent, what you have said to about the other guy, the black guy, Blair Underwood, I agree with you. He wasn't a bad guy, but what I've always taken from the movie ever since I first saw it, he looked at her like an accessory. Like, oh, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished that. Now I have the perfect woman. She's accomplished this. She's educated. She has a professional job. She's moved up the corporate ladder. So it's like it's not really a connection. It's more she's physically attractive, check. She's accomplished, check. But did he really get to know her? Because I think one of the ladies on the panel, I don't know if it's Miss Grandma's Love or the other one. I'm sorry, I don't know who else other than April. She mentioned that how they sat on a sofa together and they were just working. No real connection, no real interaction. And again, like I said, I think sometimes when you're a successful person, that doesn't make you a bad person. You have goals, and you have goals. You have standards, and you said she fits. It's not, do you really like her or do you like the idea of her? And I think the character, Blair Underwood's, the black guy's character, he loved the idea of her.
Yes.
If that makes sense to anyone.
Yes. And let me say this on that thing, and not And these characters were good. The black guy was a good character. He was a good man. I think he was looking at it strategic. Okay, I'm a good looking guy. I'm successful. She's beautiful. We're both successful. We could climb up the ladder together. Let's get together. Let's make it happen. And I don't think he had any ill will about her. I think he would love to have a relationship with her, but it just didn't work. And it was her and the landscaper was like there was real passion there. It was beyond the what's on paper. It was beyond that, we're attractive and we should get together because we're successful. No, it was beyond that. It was like, I love you. And when he came in and when he talked to her, he was like, he was all in. You could see it. And she wanted to be with him too. You seen when he was working out in the yard and she seen him, working and his muscles like contracting. And she was like having that, she had some passion there. And she was fighting it all the way because she was fighting for the cause.
She really saw him, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was fighting for, and I think she was like, we got to love the black man. The black man is awesome. He's everything. And she was conditioned to that. And I'm not saying nothing bad about black men. I'm just saying she was conditioned that you got to love a black man because you're a black woman. And she was trying to do that, but her passion wouldn't let her go there. No matter how much she fought it, she couldn't go there. And that movie, to me, expresses what true love is. I mean, it's not living up to a social, economic generalization, what we're supposed to do. It's like following your heart. And if she follows her heart, she ends up with the white guy. If she follows stats and what looks good on paper, she would be with the black guy. And I don't think these two guys, the white guy and the black guy, were two good men. I think they were both great men in the story. I just think that she just only hit it off with one. Does that make sense? That's what I saw on it. Yeah.
A thought just popped into my head in that Blair Underwood's character was more like her mother, while Simon Baker's character was more like her father. And it goes back to what you were saying just now with your daughters and how you're more protective of them and how they gravitate towards you in terms of the dating sphere. So I found that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Now, no doubt in how he talked to his daughter, I would talk to my daughter because I love my daughters. You know what? I just like, oh my God. When my daughter married her husband, my oldest daughter, I was just like, and I liked the guy. I was just like, I wanted her to wait later to where she got her education before she got married, but she wanted to jump in. And I was like, well, you know what? That's what she wants. And I support her, and I had love for her, and she has a good marriage. And the amazing thing about my daughter is she's a married woman, has a daughter, and she went out and got her master's degree while married and made it happen. So, I mean, gosh, I never seen that coming. I thought it would take her away from that opportunity, but she still made it happen because that's what she wanted. And my son-in-law is very successful. I mean, he don't need my daughter to have her master's degree and be successful. But the thing of it is the character of it. Like, hey, I want this, I want to do this, but I want to do this too. And when I seen the love of the father in this movie, and they're actors, but I seen where I was coming from with my daughters. I was like, you know what? And I don't ever tell my daughters whatever race the guy they want to be with, they can be, because both me and my wife's black, I'm white, and The thing I'm concerned about is the character of the person they marry. I don't care what they look like, by no means. But yeah, that was a good part. I enjoyed that part with the dad in the bathroom because it expressed the love between a father and his daughter. And that really hit me because I love my daughters more than anything on earth. And I'm so protective on my daughters, it's not even funny. They're my princesses. And when they were little girls, I would call them my princesses. And I would just, I would treat them like the beautiful women they were, even when they were little girls and when they grew up. I mean, that's a father's love anyway. But, and of course, my wife loves my daughters just like that too. But when it comes to relationships, daughters gravitate to the man because they're trying to find a man that's like their father. And ladies, if you had a loving father in your life, tell me, is this false? You're going to try to find the man that's like your father, that's loving like your father. And same thing with the mother.
Can I say? Okay, I say
Yeah,
something.
go ahead. Yeah.
I think women. I think you definitely are hitting a point because I think women model who the guys they date a lot of times after their father. Because to be honest, if he's been in your life maybe full time or sometime, your father is your first love. He really is.
Yes.
Your father's your first love, not in obviously a romantic way, but you idolize your dad because your dad is the man, your protector. He's your provider. He, gave you a kiss on your knee when you fell on the ground and you had an owie. He's the first male that just really loves you. And, unfortunately, not all of us women get to have fathers in our lives. And sometimes that makes us it makes it complicated how we, it interferes and it can affect the way how we date. But yes, absolutely. I agree that you do model after your father to a degree, even if he's a trash bag. I'm just being honest. Sometimes if you have a dusty father and he's semi in your life, or there's some dusty fathers that live in the house, you may date guys like that because you think this is normal. This is normal to date someone who's not a functional person. But if you have a great dad in your house, for instance, like Brent, and he's loving, you see how he loves his woman, your daughters are seeing how you love your Sandy, and they're gonna model who they date. I'm not gonna lower my standards. I'm gonna get a guy that loves me the way maybe how my dad expressed loves or loves my mom, and that's a beautiful thing. So that's it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It goes the opposite way with mothers and their sons. I know my son kind of gravitates to women like my wife because they see that love. And see, here's the thing: us as husbands and wives, and they have children. Our kids mimic us. They gravitate to us because they're the person that they find love with when they're born, the person that loves them most, the ones that they listen to and they try to be like. I know my son growing up, me and my son are so close. There were certain things he would try to be like me because I'm his dad. But when it comes to dating and women, he would gravitate to women that look like my wife. Does that make sense? Or that are like my wife, because that's the love he's seen. And, it goes both ways. It just, I mean, it is what it is, but that's just, I don't want to get too off topic. Men and women gravitate to their parents. And if you're in a traditional family, a lot of times the girls marry a guy that's like their father, that shares the same values, that's like that. And the sons gravitate to women that are loving and nurturing like their mother. I mean, I'm not saying always, my situation, I'm kind of weird. I've been from a divorced family and I've had a stepmom, you know, my real mom and stepmom are awesome women, and my dad's awesome because he took me in, even though he was a teenager that impregnated my mom, but he loved me. You know what? And here's the thing. With my situation, it's kind of weird. My wife Sandy is so much like my father, it's not even funny. Does that make sense? I mean, my dad accepted her off the bat because she's just like him. And I'm kind of a weird thing, you know, when it comes to that. But me and my dad have been there from the beginning. But I mean, you gravitate what your parents show you. But of course, you know, my dad's white, my wife's black, but there's so much alike, it's not even funny. And to tell you the truth, any girlfriend I dated, my dad never accepted except my wife, Sandy. Just to put that out there. Same with my stepmother. They always thought my girlfriends were garbage. And you know what? Sandy, they talked to her, they talked about her like she walks on water. And you know what? They're right. But anyway, they can see a true blessing. But don't let me get too off on that because I can go off into different things. But, you know, the movie was great. Did anybody out there that didn't get to put their what they thought about the movie and their ideas on it, their perspective?
No,
Sure.
but I do have to say good night. I have to leave. I have work in the morning. So thanks for having me. Bye bye.
Okay, thanks for coming on. It was good to have you. I really appreciate you. Grandmother's Love, you put a little stuff on that. And Miss Know-It-All too. Yes, go ahead.
I think I agree with Miss Know-It-All earlier, when she was saying, I think when we were talking about, I'm sorry, because I had to jump off for a minute, but just the relationship that she had with and I forget his name. You guys remember his name? The landscaper. What's his name? I should know it. The landscaper's name in the movie.
Brian.
So very much. Yeah, Brian, what I really loved about him is that he brought so much out in her that I think I think the gentleman, was it Josh or whoever was on earlier, was saying, like, even going on the hike, or even when she went to the garden with him and then she got caught up in that spider web and he sent her the he called it Kenya's web. Remember, you guys remember that? Instead of Charlotte's Web. I thought that was a cute little touch.
Oh, Kenya's Web. Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they sent her a book that said Charlotte's Web.
Scratched it out and said Kenya's, which I thought was so cute. That was a nice gesture, which let her know that he was thinking about her. So in a nice indirect way. But I like the fact too, if you guys remember, he was telling her like, what some of the things how he wanted to fix the back, put a fountain back there, because she made a comment at the wedding rehearsal or whatever that party was, that she commented on that fountain. But he put a fountain back there he was definitely thinking of her, of what she would like when she comes home from a hard day's work, to enjoy her backyard. And then also painting her house. I mean, he was telling her, do you know what you like? Because he says, what is it with the beige? I mean, you got beige. I mean, and I think she based it off of how she was, maybe those are nice, neutral, conservative colors. But I like it, again, is that he took her out of her, again, comfort zone and made her look at it from a different perspective. And that was good for her. I mean, she knew how to make the money. She got to the corporate world. She was doing well. We know that. She made partner. That wasn't the issue. It's just the fact of seeing a whole nother side to her, a softer side. Because I think it was April, somebody said she was really rigid. I mean, she was really like uptight. And he brought, I think what more than anything is that I like the fact that he stayed with her. He could have just, like I said, she had attitude. He could have left. Like, you know what? I don't have time to deal with this. I got a business. I'm doing all right. She was trying to call him a player. If y'all remember, they were sitting there eating Chinese food or whatever, that takeout. And she said, "Oh, so you're a player then?" He says, "I date, a lot of different women. I don't just date this white woman. I guess he's probably dated other, ethnicities, but then she said, well, you're a player." Okay. So he was saying that, but I don't know. I think she just had to experience something like that, something new. It was different. He was very different. And of course he was attractive. So, I know that helped. But, and then getting her out there when they went on that hike and they got out there in the rain, I thought that was really cute. She said she was going to kill him because her hair was getting messed up.
Yeah. And here's the thing. On our last live, I want to address this because I wasn't able to answer this question. Some lady on the last live, and I felt kind of bad because I closed it out before I answered it. This one lady was saying, well, what about Black women, their weaves, their wigs, their extensions? And I was going to address that, but I just closed it out and I thought, oh my God, I forgot to answer her question. I felt so bad. A lot of times when I talk about Black women, I talk about my wife and how I have love for Black women. Sometimes Black guys go on and say, oh yeah, you love their hairstyle. Did you know that's a weave? Did you know that's a wig? Did you know that there's extensions? Did you know this? Did you know that? I've been married to my wife over 27 years. I know all that stuff. I know I can't run my fingers through my wife's hair when she's got a weave. I know this.
But that doesn't stop you from loving her. That does not stop your love.
I still love her. I still find her attractive. I mean, a weave is going to make me lose my mind. And I love braids. My wife always gets braids. I mean, because she knows I love them. She tries to make me happy, and she likes them too. And the thing of it is, I know she adds hair to it. Oh my God, big secret, right? I know she adds hair to that. I think my youngest daughter's the only one that don't add hair because her hair grows all the way to her, the back of her knees. But I mean. Well, even she added some hair too to make it even longer. But my point is like, I don't care about that stuff. And I don't understand why Black men get so crazy about weave. Okay, I would rather a woman have her natural hair. I understand that. That's what you prefer. I prefer that, or I prefer braids. That's my preference when it comes to. But if my wife says, you know what? I'm working a lot. I'm just going to get a weave and be done with it. I'm okay with it. I don't lose my mind. And even a weave can look beautiful. I mean, there's good weaves. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why people get so hung up in that. When I started dating and I would touch women's hair and they would just put my hands away, I was like, what are you doing? Now I understand. Well, but yeah, I just want to address that. I don't care if my wife wears a weave or even a wig. I've seen some of these front lace wigs that actually look like real hair. It does. It's amazing what they do with these wigs. I'm like, wow, it looks actual real. Like it's, it's amazing. But I don't know. I don't get caught up in that stuff. I don't really care. Black women are beautiful, whether you wear a weave, whether you have braids, whether you have a wig on. You know what? I still love you. Do you? If it makes you feel beautiful, do it.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Brett. I'm sorry. I watch a lot of, and I think I've shared this with you before. I do follow a lot of interracial relationships of Black women who are married to white men, and the white men do not seem to mind. And some of the ladies, the women follow, a lot of them wear either weaves, braids, wigs, whatever. It doesn't seem to bother their husbands. These are Black women that are married to white men, and they seem to be happy with their wives. They seem to be pretty content. It doesn't seem to bother them how their hair is.
Yeah, and it never bothered me either. I mean, my wife's had her hair. She's worn almost every style. She's had weaves. She's even done a wig here and there. She's had braids her whole life, and she's went natural. Most of my wife's time, she's been natural. The time she started wearing weaves or, wigs or braids is when she was in the workforce. I mean, when she was home with the kids and being just being a house mom, I mean, she wore her hair natural and it looked so beautiful. It wasn't even funny. I mean, my wife's got real thick hair, and she had her hairstyle where her hair was wavy and just so thick and looked awesome. And she did that, but it took a lot of time and a lot of work for her to get her hair to look like that. Yeah. Now, when she was working, she'd throw a weave in there so she could get up and go. Or she would do braids. I prefer braids because braids look more beautiful than a weave. A weave don't last as long as braids do.
Yeah, you go, Mr. Brent. You know your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I love braids, and braids. When my wife does braids, her hair grows so good. I'm just yeah. And I love braids. When I was a boy and in school, back in the 70s, these girls would wear braids and they put beads in their hair, and I thought that was just so neat. I always liked that, and growing up as a man, I always loved my wife wearing braids, whether she got the box braids or the micro braids. I like the micro braids, but that takes longer and it costs more to do. I mean, Black women's hairstyles are so expensive, but I love them, and I've always, paid for my wife to do her hairstyles because it makes her feel good, it makes her feel pretty, and I like it too. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyway, Black women are beautiful regardless. I mean,
I would like to ask you this. I don't know if there's anybody else that's on the chat or in the chat room or on the panel, Miss Know-It-All. Do you guys have you all picked another movie for next week or whenever we're going to do the next movie review?
I haven't, and I'm looking for the first email of movie to pick. And here's the thing, guys: when we pick a movie, I want it to be an interracial movie. I don't want no hardcore racist tones about it. I don't want Black women fighting the Klan or something crazy. I want a positive interracial thing to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into that hardcore racism to where we all get triggered and act crazy. I want something positive.
Right.
I agree.
Email. I did send you an email. I don't know if you haven't had a chance to read it yet. It was a movie. It's probably as good as Something New.
I'll check it out. I haven't put a movie forward, but give me a couple days and we'll do a movie review. But I want it to be an interracial relationship. I want it to be something positive, like Something New. That was a positive movie.
Yeah.
The movie Bodyguard was a positive movie.
Yeah.
You don't want a movie that's too heavy. I get it.
No, I don't. I don't want a movie where some woman, gets with a white guy and the Klan don't like it, so they rape her and treat her like garbage, and then we get all crazy. And I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get in a movie where I don't want to get in a movie where we, show I want a movie that's positive. There's two people that are different. They come together, they love each other, and they find a way to work it out.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's what I want.
Brent,
Well,
I sent you a link to some movies. I sent you a link of videos of the best interracial movies. Maybe you could look it over. It's only a few minutes. I sent you a link
Yeah.
via email and look through that. And maybe if you could see if anything appeals to you, maybe you can make that suggestion to the panel. I mean, to your viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll do that. And here's the thing, I want it to be positive. This is a positive channel. I know there's hate and anger and such disgusting stuff in this world. I don't want to focus on that. I want it to be positive. How can it be better? And that's my thing. But yeah, these past two movies were positive. They were good movies. People that find love with each other and they're different racial groups and they make it work. That's what I want. I don't want, two couples get together, but they got to fight racism and one gets hurt and, the brother comes out and shoots somebody and then, the group that hates them does this to them. And then, before we know it, we're caught in our emotions and we're just like so much anger, so much stuff. And we don't even get the positive message. So yeah. That's what I want. I just want a good interracial relationship movie where people find love for each other. And that's what I want to focus on. Us as people finding a way to love each other, even if we're different. That's what I want. But yeah, I'll look at the movie list and give me a few days and I'll go through and pick one. And if you guys on the chat, if there's anything you got an idea, send me an email. But I don't want it to be anything that triggers people. I don't want anything that raises emotions, because I want it to be a good positive thing, how we could be better persons of ourselves, how we can, because those movies that have a high racial content, does that really involve us? Most of us on this channel, we don't agree with that anyway. We don't live our lives like that. So why are we watching it?
Right.
Let's do something that helps us come together.
Well,
that's my thing. But yeah, let me not go too off into that. I just want a positive movie. I want a loving movie. I want an interracial movie where these people love each other and they find a positive way to work it out. That's what I want.
But you know what, Brent, I find it difficult. I've been trying to find more interracial movies with white men, black women, or black women with any man. It's just more, they've been promoting more black males and white women or non-black women in movies.
No.
So it's a little complicated to
it is complicated, but you know what? We can find that. And if we can't find that, we can find a movie like Hidden Figures, where black women,
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that sounds
good. They help out NASA and help us get the first man on the moon. And these women were brilliant. They were, geniuses, great mathematicians. I mean, we could go off into that too. My thing is, I don't want to bring a movie that focuses on hate. And, hate's a reality. I get it. And people tell me, they say, well, you're in an interracial relationship. You tell your story, you got to show the hate too. Do I really?
Brent, a lot of people in the chat said Karina with Whoopi Goldberg. That might be a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I seen that one. That was a good movie too. There are good movies out there. I don't want to trigger people. Here's the thing, because I can say something on race to where how I feel, and I can be totally right. But if someone hears me say that, they can have a misconception about what I say, and take it to another level. And now there's hate, now there's anger, now there's, I mean, us on the panel, we're mature adults. We can talk through any racial crap that's happened in the past, and we don't end up being angry or hating each other. We just adults, right? But some people watching the channel on the outside looking in, some people carry a lot of stress. Some people carry a lot of emotions, a lot of anger. Some people, so I don't want to trigger that. Does that make sense? I mean, if it was a private channel, we could talk about anything we want. But with that, I just want to be respectful. I want to have a loving message, and I don't want to trigger nobody when we don't need to do that. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but we'll get it together. You know, the movie, and guys, I want to put my aspect on the movie, and I want to share this, what this movie meant to me. This movie was a good movie. Of course, the people acting in the movie were great actors and actresses. You know, the lady that played Kenya, I mean, she's very famous. She's beautiful. She's a good actress. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
You know, the white guy that played it, he's a good actor, and he's an attractive guy. They're both attractive people. You know, it was a good movie. They played their parts well. And God, I'm losing my train of thought. But anyway, it was good. I liked it. They played their part, and they sent out a positive message. And at the end of the day, you know what I got out of this movie is you can love who you love and be happy.
That's
And
right.
the thing that got me emotionally stirred up more than anything is not the white man and black woman coming together and finding true love, which that was great. It was her brother messing with her because, and I said this in the other live, I was like, you know what? That reminds me of my wife and my brother-in-law, because my wife's brother would tease her and would do the kind of stuff they're doing. And like I tell the story, my brother-in-law, you know, he loved white women. That's who he was with. That's who he dated. That's who he married. And these women weren't the best women. They took advantage of him. They did him wrong. And my wife said she would never date a white man because of that. Okay. But here's the thing. Don't ever say what you won't do, because you'll end up doing it. And she married me, and we've had a great life together. But initially, she seen what her brother went through, and she's like, she wanted to avoid that. And, you know, she married me. But when I met my brother-in-law, he would tease my wife. He would tease me. But the guy says, you know what? You don't look like the type of white guy that would date black women. He says, you know what? He says, you're like in stealth mode. You come out there and you get with these black women and you blindside them. That's how you get them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And you know, he says, you know what? But my sister loves you and my mom loves you. So all I can do is accept you. And he gave me a hug and he says, welcome to the family, bro. He says, you're special. And if you're special to my sister and my mom, well, I love you too. And, you know, from then we had such a connection. And, you know, my brother-in-law meant so much to me because this man accepted me for who I was. And of course, my wife did, and my mother-in-law did, but it was just It was amazing. And, he passed. He had a liver disease, and he passed a few years ago, and it broke my heart. But that's what that movie triggered in me. It wasn't so much the interracial relationship, it was the family aspect. And it was like, when you get married, you don't just marry your wife, you marry into a family. Does that make sense? I know I did. And both my families have come together. And, my mother-in-law spent more time with my dad and my mom more than I spent with them. And it just like, I don't know. I'm getting emotional in this. But that's what that movie triggered in me. And I'm just like, wow. It's just like, and the bottom line is we're people. And these people fell in love. And yeah, it's a fairy tale movie, but it's reality. Me and my wife is reality. We're not a movie. We love each other, and we've done the best we can with each other. And we've been blessed. And anyway, that's where I got out of that movie. And I told my wife, I says, gosh, I mean, this reminds me so much of your brother. I like broke down and started, like crying, like, God. And I'm like, God, this needs to stop, because I wasn't expecting that aspect of it. I was expecting of feeling good about me and my wife, how we got married, but it went somewhere else. But anyway, okay, let me get out of this mode, because I start talking about this, I go crazy. But seriously, that's what that movie meant to me, and that's the specialty I have of the movie. And and I look at it too, when they come together. Me and my wife had kind of a similar thing. My wife was kind of skeptical of dating white men, but she did it. Her family accepted me. They loved me. And, I mean, my brother-in-law loved me. My mother-in-law loves me. She even tells me almost every time I see her, she says, you're a blessing. And I almost break down emotionally, because I'm not that. I'm just a man that loves my wife. That's just all it is. But yeah, let me get out of that mode. Hey guys, but anyway, that's my aspect on that movie. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I bought the movie. It's, in my profile where I can watch it anytime. But we'll focus on the next movie. Give me 2 days and I'll put out a movie out there, and we'll do another movie review. What do you guys think? Do you think the movie that we just did a review on, something new, do you think it was a good movie? Let me know. Tell me what you think. Is it realistic, or is it like a fairy tale? Is it something that happens or don't happen? Or is it in the middle? What did it mean to you? Share the comment with me. Let me know. Tell me what you think. What movie would you like to see me review? And like I said, let's make it a positive movie where we feel good about it, where we're not triggered by some racial thing that happened, but something where we find love, something where we can all connect. So when we end our live show next week, we feel good, like, oh yeah, I got that message. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he was a white guy, but he loved her, and she was black, and she loved him, and their family hated it, but they came together, and it was beautiful. Something like that. I mean, it don't have to end up like that, but that's what I'd like to see, because there's so much negative in this world. There's so much hate. There's so much evil. There's so much garbage. Let's not focus on that. I mean, the hate, the racism, the garbage, it'll be waiting for us when we get done with our life. But when we do our live, let's leave that behind. Can we do that? That's what I want. Anyway, ladies, if you have something you want to say, go ahead. I'm going to end this live soon. It's been a long day. It's been a blessed day. You know, our special guest was awesome. And I think, you know what? Our special guest came on. It was a good experience. I'm going to send them this jersey. It's my Mighty Ducks jersey. Has a lot of sentimental value. I got an uncle that lives in Anaheim in Orange County that I'm really close to. And, you know, I just want to send this because we did the live and I was wearing this jersey. I want to send a loving gesture and something to remember that live from. And I think I might start doing this with people that come onto my live and, you know, just to show love that I have for them and just a little memory. I think that goes a long ways because when the YouTube stuff dies and we're no longer doing this, you know, people could look back and say, you know what, I talked to this guy and he always wore a hockey jersey. Man, he gave me this one. That was a good talk. You know, it was awesome. That's what I want to put out there, you know. And anyway, okay, I'm getting caught up in my feelings. Maybe I need to.
When do you not get caught up in your feelings?
Yeah,
I think you have some cancer in your chart, Mr. Brent. Listen, I emailed you a movie. I don't know how I came across it. I was Googling on YouTube something new, and this other link came up. I put it in the chat, but I emailed you, and I did review it. And I think it is similar to the movie we just watched. So yeah, just get your feedback on it. I think it's more on the lines of opening up your options and exploring, and it's more on the positive end while touching on the same things that the movie we just discussed touched on.
Yeah, no, I saw it, April. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a little bit of it. It looks pretty neat. We'll probably go on that.
Or The Bodyguard. Somebody said The Bodyguard. I mean, I could go for a nice song right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's up to the chat. I don't know. They want to do The Bodyguard, or they want to just do an entertainment maybe next week, so it can kind of like break the monotony and have different themes maybe, so it doesn't get redundant.
What do you mean by entertainment?
Like meaning like The Bodyguard is more like musical, where this one didn't have like musical. You maybe want to do next week The Bodyguard, and then the following week another film.
Yeah.
Kind of switch it up, or.
No, I get that. And I asked you, I think I sent an email. If I didn't, I wanted to. Asking if you wanted to do The Bodyguard as a movie review as a co-host. Would you like to do that next week?
Oh my God, I love Whitney. I was like 12. I was like 12 when that came out. Kevin Costner was so hot. Yes, he was the ultimate bodyguard. Oh my goodness, yes. That movie meant a lot to us growing up. It really did. That movie was a hit. You want to
do that next week?
Absolutely.
April?
I love Whitney and Kevin Costner. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that. And we'll do a co-host. I'll bring you on and you can co-host with me, and we'll do that. And we'll talk about it. And I think that'll be a good movie review. I love The Bodyguard. I've seen it so many times. And Whitney Houston is, you know, she's beautiful. She's, oh my God, her voice, there's no other. And, you know, Kevin Costner's a good-looking guy, a good actor, and it just fit the thing. It fit the theme. And the thing about Kevin Costner is he really loved Whitney Houston. It was his idea to do the movie. He actually reached out to her, and they did the movie, and it was such a huge success. And, you know, I remember when it came out, I was just like, well, I was into black women back then, so that made me happy. I was like, oh, yeah, I want to see a movie like that. So I was all for it. But I mean, it was good acting. It was a good story. And here's the thing, that movie, yeah, it was a superstar singer and a high paid bodyguard. And, you know, that's not everyday people, but I mean, it kind of goes along with everyday people because you know what? A lot of us are finding love with people that are different races that, you know, are different from us. So it kind of connects with, you know, society to this day. And especially in this channel and people that live a life like mine, I mean, we experience that. And we don't give credit. Here's the thing. When you're in an interracial marriage or relationship, when things go good and when you're doing the right thing, you'll never get credit. But you mark the day when you mess up or your wife messes up, they'll highlight it like no tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right. One bad thing just erases out everything, every good deed. It really does.
It does. Look at Pink Pill. That woman's, you know, she's pretty, she's successful. You know,
But
she
you
had
know, I
good
don't think for a moment she'll bounce. She'll bounce back. I didn't know she was what they call swirling. I just clicked on her channel 10 years or so ago because I thought she was an entrepreneur. She presented it as herself as an entrepreneur, and she was teaching Black women what they call leveling up, but she was teaching how to be entrepreneurs, how to be a lady, things like that. So that's why I initially liked her channel. I didn't really go into her channel to see like, you know, what it was about, but I do think she was, when I hear a lot of people that are in interracial relationships, they always credit her. A lot of women, no matter what she's going through, I have not heard an interracial Black woman on social media. They always say, well, CK was the one that really, you know, was the champion during times when it wasn't popular to want to vocally date other men that didn't look like you. So Black women were really just, you know, so I hope she remembers that she has touched so many. She hasn't touched mine personally in that way, but I hope if she's listening or whatever, just remember that she has a lot of women's lives that she's impacted, as well as the men too. So I don't want her to forget, like, you set the trail. From what I've learned, I've heard the women like, no, she's setting. A lot of women that are in the divestment community have her back too. They were like, she set the trail for what we do now. So if she set the blueprint or the pink print or whatever she wants to call it, but she did. I mean, from what I gather, she was the first to really do it and do it big. So
Yeah,
kudos to her.
Yeah, no doubt. What I would say too, and
can you hear me?
I want to say this real quick. I just want to say that you know, with the Pink Pill, Crystal Carlson, you know, that she had an impact in a lot of people and a lot of Black women, and us as white men, we see her, we see the image of her, and she's put forth such a positive image and such a professional image that it will never be the same. And I would just say that people that interracially date and married like myself and my wife, you know, we totally respect her and we have, you know, big love for her. And if she even saw my little video, I would say, you know what? You know, come back to YouTube, share your message, share your thoughts. And, you know, there's people out here that love you, that respect you, that understand your message, and we're a part of it. And in the interracial community, whether it's Black women, white men, or other races of people that date interracially, we look up to this lady, and we have the utmost respect and the utmost love, because she's doing her. She's doing what she feels is right and what she wants to do.
Right.
And that's we all should live.
Right. Right. I just will leave with this quote, and it was something I was back in my early days. I used to read a lot of autobiographies, but Colin Powell said, "In prosperity, our friends know us, but in adversity, we know our friends." And I always would put that at the bottom of my quotes in my
Oh,
emails. And so, you know, everybody goes through it. So I look at it like, would I want to be forgiven, or would I want to be condemned for the rest of my life for an error or a mistake? So I mean, I don't, you know, I think she'll come back when she's ready, and you know, she'll just really reflect and see, you know, in adversity who was there and who wasn't. So it was an awesome video movie review, and it was also an awesome panel that you had before that. The chat was lit today. I don't know. I guess the moon is really full. I don't know, but we
yeah.
cut up.
You
We
know
cut
what?
up.
I open my door and I see that I hear the coyotes howling like crazy. So something's going on. I think it was a beautiful night. I think this was an awesome day. And ladies, you guys on the panel were awesome. Our guest was awesome. It was a good night. I think it just went awesome. There wasn't no hangups. There wasn't no crazy infightings. There wasn't no trigger
Can I
moment. It was just like love was flowing. And
can I say something to that, Brent? I mean,
yeah,
I'm all about light and love. I like to crack jokes, and sometimes, and even today earlier, there was some issues in the chat, and I just stay away from it. I stay away from it like the plague, and I try my best. I'm not here for that. This is your channel, and we all have to
Yes.
respect it, and we all don't have to. You know, it's a difference between talking to someone and talking at someone. And I know some people are in the chat, but some people are very aggressive, and they take things very they take things sensitively. And you know, sometimes typing chats text can be interpreted wrong, like some, because we're, you know, we have a limited amount of characters we could put into a something we want to chat about, and some people get so triggered, and it's just unfortunate, and it doesn't have to be there. I already feel some divisiveness in some of the people, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but you notice I crack jokes, or I try to laugh, or I try to be positive, or I try to stay on topic, and not to just toot my own horn. It's just that I just stay away from the drama. And you know, I've already had maybe twice some people come at me a little bit, so I just encourage everyone, just don't engage, ignore. I mean, some people, like I said, some people are keyboard warriors and gangsters, and they say things, and it's just unnecessary for them to just take it there. It's all about light and love, and your channel's about light and love. But anyway, the movie was obviously awesome. The review was awesome. Earlier today with Mr. Cohen, with Nanik, he was amazing. The panel,
yeah.
April was amazing. You're amazing, and I just love it all. And I'm so happy I've found your channel. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I can't wait to the next movie. And you know, I'm excited for the future for myself, and I hope everybody else. I don't know if April's in the market. I know she was in love with Mr. Cohen.
I flirt. I'm just a flirt. I was not. I was just
I
flirting. I
know.
like paying.
I
If
love
I
it.
pay, I pay
I
men
love it.
compliments all the time. I do, and the girls are like, they look a lot better with their mask on. So they throw shots, but if, you know, I throw compliments. You
He was
know,
a
if
nice
I
looking
think
man.
some,
He
yeah,
was. He was a nice
he
looking
was
man. And
decent
back,
looking. Yeah.
and can I say something about the pink pill really quickly? And I'm gonna jump off. The
Okay.
pink pill, she's getting a lot of support, Brent. A lot of people are begging her to come back. I've seen other channels like, let's just give her a moment, let's give her a break. I think, and I like April, to echo what April said, I think she will come back. She just needs to take a breather. She needs to take a beat. She needs to figure things out. And like you said, she is on the she's at Clubhouse. She does do Clubhouse, and I think she's on the Discord. But I think she is appearing on other people. I would love for her to come to your channel, to be honest, if you could reach out to her,
Oh
because
God.
she's been
Here,
going to a lot of people channels, even though she took down hers.
Brenna been a guy her the entire NHL's each team's jersey.
here's the thing. If Pink Pill came on my channel, oh my God, that would make my day like no other.
I
You know
know.
what? I would love to have her. Oh my God, that would be
You
a dream.
should reach out to her.
No,
You
I
should.
want
How,
you to.
how do I
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely.
She don't have a channel right now.
She has
Or-
Go to
email.
Clubhouse.
She's a businesswoman. She has contact information. I would assume
you know what?
like
Send me
email. Yeah.
I'll do
if,
some
if you,
research.
if you see her email me her email, and I'll send a message asking her. I mean, all she can do is say no or yes or ignore me. But I
But
will
she,
reach out to her because here's the thing: she's a big part of our community. She's a big part of. I mean, what me and my wife are married. She's a big part of us because she's like us. Really, I mean, she's famous and we're everyday people, but there's a connection. I would, I'd move heaven and earth to get her on the show. That would be the highlight ever.
She's been on she's been on famous and thought that guy, I can't pronounce some of these names, in the Azrai guy channel. She's been on the Honest Truth channel, and this is in recent days and weeks and months since she's been off air. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just reach out to her and ask her, hey, I'm a small channel, but all of my subscribers love you. They talk about you all the time. And it's about interracial swirling, and just reach out to her like that. And, I mean, I'll try to research, and maybe April and anyone else in the chat might want to, and just reach out to her and say, hey, if you could just talk to them and encourage them, it would be. I think she would do it. I really think she would. I think she's a nice person.
I look at that, the Honest Truth channel. I do watch that channel, and that guy on there. I look up to that guy, and he's so much better of a YouTuber than me. And I look at him, and I'm like, this guy's got it together. He does his research, and I'm just like, man, I would love to do a show with that dude because, oh my God, I could learn so much. Oh man, but
reach out to him.
Yeah, I'm going to, but I mean, he's just he outclasses me so much because I don't really research a lot. I just do this as a hobby on my own time. But this guy's he's got his stats together. He's got his points together. I mean, and he's got character. I mean, this is a black man that can go in on black men and like no tomorrow. And to me, that says, you know what? I'm saying what's right. And his channel's like, when it says real truth, it's real truth. And I would give him a shout out. His channel, I hope he reaches millions. I mean, he's got it together, and
he works hard, and he's ambitious. He definitely does.
He does. And this man is just, that's a high quality man. When I look at him and how he does his show, I was like, man, that's a high quality man. And women, if they're not gravitating to this guy, they're lost in the sauce. But I mean, I enjoy his show. I watch it all the time. I've never gone. I mean, I might reach out, but I got to have my ducks in order. I got to be on point, I think, to have a show with this guy because he's in the data, he's in the stats, and he's in the truth. And his channel reflects what he says. And I would just leave it at that. This guy's way beyond my level. I'm just a man that just, speaks from the heart and shows love for, black women and my wife. And that's where I'm at. I'm not advanced to where I can go in and, numbers and where things are going and society. I got a ways to learn, but I'm having a good time just coming on doing lives with you guys. And but yeah, check out the truth, the real truth. That's a good channel, guys. I mean, go in there, subscribe to him, show him love. He's on point. He don't live in the collective. He lives in the truth, and he tells it like it is. And I respect them for that. And anyway, I mean, we were talking about Red Pill, and I got off on this guy. This guy's awesome. I'm a subscriber. I watch in there. Good show. But yeah, the Red Pill. I hope she comes back. I love her so much, and you know, a lot of people do. And us in the interracial, the community. I will say interracial community. Those of us that are married interracially or have relationships interracially, we love having someone like Crystal and Kerrison, someone that, you know, is choosing a path. And a lot of us have chosen that path, whether we're attracted to that other person, whether we feel that other person's a better option. We're there, and here we are. And you know what? I wish her well. I wish her come back. And, you know,
Well, everything you just said, you just have to put it in a letter. You need to let her know your sentiments and how she impacted you and how she's impacted the interracial communities that you live around. I think
Yes.
that would really touch. I really think, honestly, I don't see why this woman would not. You're like a breath of fresh air. You're genuine. And you've been dating since the 90s. So I'm pretty certain, I think, you know, whatever happens, I think it'll be something just for you and your wife and her, because it would be you all's moment. And so, yeah, it would just be you all. It wouldn't be anyone on a panel. It would be you, you and your wife discussing interracial relationships and marriage.
And if I told my wife that she was coming on, my wife would be there in a New York minute. I tell you what, my wife loves her too. My wife, you know, was sad when the things that happened to her and her boyfriend and stuff. If she was coming on my show, my wife would be here in a heartbeat. It wouldn't be no thing, because my wife admires her a lot. My wife watches her a lot. And my wife ain't really a big YouTuber, but she's one of the channels she watches. And yeah, I mean, that's a dream right there. Having her come on the show, that would be, oh my God. Anyway.
Well, it's been an honorable evening. I have to get up early. It's like 10:15 here, and it'll be an early day for me. I enjoyed this so much. I just want to reinforce, you know, let's be kinder to one another as Black women. Let's just kind of be more forgiving to each other, and just try out. I think everybody should just Black women need to speak to one white man. You have 18 and older. I'm not talking about anyone that's a minor. 18 and over, single or whatever. Go and apply some of the things that Brett and Mr. Cohen told you were tips and things. Try to speak or engage a conversation, and let's talk about that, you know, before the movie or something, or after it, or intertwine it in the movie. But try to speak to a white man, try to speak to a Black girl, and see the result you get.
Yeah. And I think we'll go with Bodyguard next movie. Next movie we'll do Bodyguard. April, you want to co-host that with me next week?
I will do that. Yep, I will.
Okay, we'll do that. That'll be a beautiful thing. And I'll do a jump on panel. So if anybody wants to come on and tell us what you thought of the movie, what you got out of it, we'll do that also. And it'll be a fun live, and it'll be awesome.
It will. Get your favorite songs out, man. Queen of the Night. Queen of the Night. Okay, I'm going to hop off because I have to get up early, but blessings to everybody. Be safe, Brent and Miss Know-It-All and everyone in the chat, okay?
Okay, April. Hey, have a good night.
Bye.
We love you, April. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I got to close out.
Well, Brent, I'm going to say goodnight as well. And thank you so much again. I had a great time as usual. And I hope you, Sandy, your kids, and your grandbaby is always blessed, healthy, happy, and doing well. You have a lovely evening, okay?
Okay, I will. And thank you for coming on. And See this jersey I'm wearing? I might send this to Cohen,
That's
you know,
nice.
for coming on the show. This is one of my favorites, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. But
That's a nice
yeah,
color. Nice.
yeah. But anyway, hey guys, hey, it was a great panel tonight. Great movie review. Great special guest this week. I tell you, it's been a beautiful weekend, beautiful Sunday, and I'm just lost for words. It couldn't have went any better. And anyway, guys, hey, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. When you go out, put a thumbs up. Yeah, do a thumbs up on your way out. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming on. It was a nice night, nice day all together. Special guest was great. The movie review was awesome. And we'll do Bodyguard next weekend. We'll do a movie review on that. So watch Bodyguard. I know most of us probably watched it, but watch it again. And come on the Jump On Live. Tell me what you think. It's open to everybody in the channel. Everybody's welcome. I'm feeling good tonight. I'm going to give my wife extra huggies tonight because, well, I do that anyway because I love her so much. But I'm in cloud nine tonight. Tonight was beautiful, guys. And thanks for coming on. And I love each and every one of you. And Sunday we'll do the Bodyguard thing, and we'll have we'll do a two-part show where we do we'll have a topic we talk about, and then we'll go into a movie review, and that'll be a wonderful thing. We'll have a good time, and you know, something to look forward to. I know I'm already looking forward to it. I'll probably send a video down the way in between. I might go live Wednesday because I'm off. So I'll probably do a live that night. I'll see if I can find some type of subject to talk about, something we can benefit from. But anyway, guys, have a good night. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you in the next video, next live. Thank you. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you soon.